Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the most sophisticated, interconnected, and honestly, kind of mysterious network in the known universe, the human body. We carry this biological marvel around with us every single day, yet we rarely stop to appreciate the absolute awe-inspiring precision happening right beneath our skin at this very moment. So today, we are mapping the architecture of human life.
But to really get our biology, you have to look past the idea that we're just a random collection of parts stacked together. Our bodies are an absolute masterclass in cooperation, and the golden rule of this cooperation? Homeostasis. Basically, it's the biological principle where your internal balance and regulation are maintained no matter what kind of chaos is happening in the outside world. As our source material points out, homeostasis is the ultimate condition for stability. Without it, the whole system just collapses.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for today. We'll start with the miracle of balance, move over to the control center, and then trace the distribution network. After that, we'll hit energy and defense, explore the cycle of life, and wrap it all up with a really interesting lesson for civilization.
All right, Section 1, the miracle of balance, the very foundation of human life.
To really grasp this balance, we have to look at the wild interface between matter, energy, information, and consciousness. We aren't just mechanical machines, we're highly dynamic, integrated systems. And it all starts with one mind-blowing number, 30 trillion. That is the estimated number of cells inside you right now. 30 trillion individual units of life, pulling off this perfectly synchronized dance. They organize into tissues, those tissues build your organs, and those organs interlock into the complex systems we're looking at today. The sheer scale of this microscopic organization is just breathtaking. Moving right along to Section 2, the control center, better known as the nervous system. Sitting right at the top of the hierarchy is your brain, the ultimate coordinator of everything you do. It's handling your memory, your capacity for language, planning, and the very consciousness that's letting you understand my words right now. But what's truly astonishing here is its sheer efficiency. The human brain weighs, maybe 1.3 to 1.4 kilograms. That's a mere 2% of your total body weight. Yet it demands a massive 20% of your body's energy while at rest. It is an incredibly energy-hungry organ because, well, it never actually stops working.
So where is all that energy going? It's powering 86 billion neurons. 86 billion. And every single one of those neurons is capable of forming thousands of synaptic connections with its neighbors. We're talking about a communication grid that completely dwarfs the most advanced computer networks humanity has ever built.
But here's the most magical part. Your brain isn't just some static hard drive. This vast network enables one of the coolest, most vital concepts in neuroscience, neuroplasticity. As our sources emphasize, your brain physically modifies its connections based on your experiences. What you learn, what you do, and what you perceive literally reshapes your biological wiring in real time. How crazy is that? Okay, Section 3, the distribution network, which covers your circulatory and respiratory systems.
To keep a control center like the brain running, you absolutely need a flawless supply chain. Your heart and lungs form this ultimate cooperative network, making sure fuel reaches every single one of those 30 trillion cells. It's a beautifully orchestrated cascade. Down in your lungs, 300 million tiny sacs called alveoli are constantly exchanging gases. Oxygen diffuses into your blood, and carbon dioxide gets pushed out. And breathing is completely automatic, even though we can consciously take over whenever we want to. To drive this whole operation forward, your heart beats 60 to 100 times a minute at rest, pumping 5 liters of blood every single minute. It uses 4 distinct cavities to perfectly separate the fresh, oxygen-rich blood from the deoxygenated blood. It is a brilliant piece of engineering.
Now I want you to pause and really think about this next number, 100,000. That is the length, in kilometers, of the blood vessels inside a single human body. That is literally enough to wrap around the Earth more than twice. And through this massive, microscopic highway, your body is constantly transporting oxygen, nutrients, hormones, and clearing away all the metabolic waste.
This brings us to Section 4, Energy and Defense, looking at the digestive, musculoskeletal, and immune systems.
So how exactly does the body extract the fuel required to run these massive distribution networks? The process kicks off in a digestive tract that stretches a remarkable 7 to 9 meters long, handling both mechanical and chemical breakdown. But when we talk about digestion, it brings up a really fascinating question. Who is actually digesting your food?
You might assume it's entirely your own human cells doing all the heavy lifting, but the truth is a lot more collaborative.
It turns out the real unsung heroes live right in your hidden microbiome. Our gut is home to trillions of microorganisms. And they aren't just hitching a ride. They actively aid in digestion, synthesize essential vitamins, regulate our immunity, and even influence our mood through the gut-brain axis. They extract the energy that our musculoskeletal system, with its 206 bones and over 600 muscles, uses to transform chemical ATP into actual mechanical movement. We are quite literally walking ecosystems.
Of course, with all this precious energy and complex structure, your body needs a top-tier internal defense force. The immune system's primary job is constantly distinguishing self from non-self. We have two main branches here. First is innate immunity. That's your immediate, general, frontline defense against any invaders. Then you have your adaptive immunity. This is the highly tactical unit. It uses memory lymphocytes to actually remember specific pathogens, which allows for a much faster hyper-targeted response if you ever get exposed a second time.
Let's move to Section 5, the cycle of life, focusing on our reproductive systems. These are the systems entirely dedicated to the continuation of the human species, utilizing totally distinct yet wonderfully complementary biological mechanisms. So the crucial point is how they differ and align. On the male side, dictated by XY chromosomes, the system continually produces spermatozoa and testosterone right from puberty onward. On the female side, governed by XX chromosomes, the ovaries produce oocytes and estrogens. This operates on a roughly 28-day hormonal cycle, working from a limited stock of oocytes. It's two entirely different biological approaches, perfectly adapted and working together for a single cooperative goal: reproduction.
And finally, Section 6, a lesson for civilization, the philosophy of balance.
Having explored all these microscopic miracles of our anatomy, our source material actually zooms out to offer a really profound philosophical takeaway. Like, what can human biology teach human society? The overarching truth is simply this: the body functions because its systems cooperate. Sure, we have our biological limits and vulnerabilities. We get sick, we need sleep, we totally rely on our environment, but internal stability holds up because of teamwork. When one biological system dominates the others, or when one starts dysfunctioning, the entire organism suffers.
The author distills this perfectly in this quote: La stabilité naît de l'équilibre des fonctions, non de la domination d'une seule. Basically, stability is born from the balance of functions, not the domination of a single one. Understanding our own bodies teaches us a vital lesson about ourselves as a whole species. Just like our internal organs, our civilization requires intense coordination, measured actions, and shared responsibility. Balance really is the ultimate prerequisite for survival.
Which leaves us with this final, genuinely provocative question. Knowing what we now know about the absolute miracle of internal biological homeostasis, how will we behave on a planetary scale? Will we act as an isolated, dominating force that disrupts the entire system? Or will we act as a highly conscious species, fully aware of the global balance required to sustain life? I really hope this explainer gave you a brand new appreciation for the entire universe inside you. Take care and keep learning.